We often talk here on the show about how things have literally taken a turn for the worse, to decline, not just in service, but the way that we're treated as individuals, whether you're out shopping at a very famous department store or checking into what was once a luxury hotel as a special treat, maybe a birthday party, an anniversary, that type of thing. I was recently sat in the world famous Dorchester Hotel, genuinely just catching my breath, trying to cool down in this heat of the summer in London town. And I was amazed at, in fact, who they let through the door. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You see, I was always told that you couldn't get into a five-star establishment unless you were in a shirt and tie, or at least looking presentable. No trainers, no jeans, that sort of thing. But what I saw were people in summer shorts. More importantly, of course, when you think about it, nothing wrong with that. It's the individual and it's their money. But really, standards, have they slipped? Or is it a good thing that people are allowed now to be more relaxed? And the reason why I brought this up is I wanted to also get your thoughts on this, because I think this is part of the problem when you look at a working life. If you remember, years ago, you'd go to the cinema and you see the commissionaire on the door and the usherettes all looking absolutely wonderful in their very precise uniforms. The same thing if you went to like Marks and Spencer's, Boots the chemist, anywhere, people were proud to wear their uniforms. Now, I was recently on the London Tube and I noticed exactly how much their uniform had dressed down, including the head guard. I had no idea. Well, I spoke to them about this and they told me that they've been encouraged to look more like their customers, more approachable and less formal. But is that the reason why respect and, more importantly, bad behaviour and, shall we say, lack of respect for each other has really reached a pinnacle? You see, if you think about it, when a guard or a conductor came on the bus, you kind of sat up, didn't you? Because there was a person of power. He was checking your ticket to make sure that you weren't sliding in for nothing. It's the same, isn't it, at the cinema? There they would come up and down the aisle with their torches, making sure you're in the right seat with the right ticket. Now, I'm not saying it's a forceful thing, but it gave the person in charge a little bit of authority, a little bit of respect. When you think about it now, I was heading out, as I say, into one of the stores the other day, and I genuinely had no idea that the guy stood next to me in a full velour tracksuit and a baseball hat with a tiny logo of the store on actually was part of the organisation. And I said to him, "Do you like wearing that?" And he said, "Oh, it's easy, I'm not bothered." But there was no pride in actually working for the organisation. He didn't say, "Absolutely, I like people to know exactly the company I'm working for." And again, whether people think this is a good or a bad thing, one wonders the removal of formalities, the removal of basic manners where everybody's called guys rather than good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know that, but they're not allowed now to say that on all transportation on the main lines of the railways over here in the United Kingdom. They don't want to offend anybody. So this era of relaxation, is it a good thing to have things like uniforms removed, respect and manners, and more importantly, civility? Or would you go to somewhere like the Ritz that still upholds the idea that you should wear, before entering, a shirt and tie for the gentleman, no trainers, and ladies, of course, looking respectful? As ever, I'd like to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.